What's going on, everybody? It's me, Shane. Happy New Year to you. And you know what? I know you're saying, this is the second. Well, unfortunately, this was not on yesterday. And here's the crazy part it says it was on yesterday. I don't know how they, you know, send out these things, these anime stuff. I'm going to heavily assume that it's done at midnight on the West Coast. Because ain't no way in hell. I looked for this because everything else was off because, guys, New Year's, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, big thing in Japan. Just as big as it is over here. They love that stuff, and they celebrate it literally the same time we do. Chinese New Year, I believe, is if not this week, next week. So there's also Golden Week. There's tons of other stuff. This anime review stuff is going to take a while, but you know what? I hope you had a safe and really good holiday. So if you pay attention to the description down there, I'm gonna review episode 5 of Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District. Even though it's supposed to be season 2, I'm just gonna say how they say it. Entertainment District, episode 5. Things are gonna get real flashy. Now, before I get real flashy, yes, I just did that. Yes, I'm gonna have to ask you, please give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. All those things help out the channel. I am really trying hard to get this channel up to 200 subscribers. I'm thankful for every last one of you. And hey, if whether you're new or not new, stay tuned. I'm putting out another video today, just a general video about what's going on with me and the channel. So I really do need to get a Demon Slayer shirt too. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Now, if we remember last time, Tanjiro and Inosuke were told just leave, and Uzui, Tengen, he's kind of upset with himself. He said he should have already taken care of things, and he's gotten kind of sloppy. So he told them to go off. He didn't want anybody else to get hurt because Zenitsu, he's already gone. Both of them are like, we're not abandoning his wives, and we're not abandoning Zenitsu. We're gonna go with the thought that they're still alive. And good on the boys. Now it's crazy because initially I thought maybe um, maybe Inosuke was kind of off. It was going in the wrong direction to look for the villain. Because the villain, her name's Daki. She's the sixth upper ranked demon, and I'm doing this because she uses cloth, and the cloth, wow, thin and pliable. She looks like a. It's the women's belly bands. That's basically her whole thing, and these things are like tentacles. I call them clothicles in my notes, actually. And the thing is, he's not wrong, but at the end of it, Tanjiro is fighting her. So let's go ahead and get right on into this. We instantly start off. Uzui, he followed the lead that the man of the house that his wife Hinatsuru was in. He follows that lead, finds her instantly. She's hung up by all these clothicals. Dude used kunais. The kunais splattered this stuff on the wall, and they're all splattered. And not Uzi, Hinatsuru, she is the Tanjiro wife. It's been said that all three of his wives each look like one of the boys. There's a there's the blonde one, Makio. She has the little blonde tuft of hair. There's one that looks like what's underneath this boar head, because I mean, come on. Inosuke is already pretty. He looks like he belongs in Saint Seiya or in JoJo. That's how pretty he is, and that's how muscular he is. So I said his wife, the one that looks like him, is Suma, but the other one, who generally just has all black, longer blacker hair, she's technically the Tanjiro wife. And I say this because she gave her medicine, and you can tell he deeply cares about his wives, and she's upset that she couldn't help him out. Um, she realized early on that Wabahara Hime was a demon, but at the same time, Wabahara Hime had become suspicious of her. And, you know, while she was going about her duties, trying to figure out how to get to him, because, and here's the kicker, she drank some poison and was going to go get healed, but the belly band that the Orion lady Wabahara Hime had given her was also a way for her to spy on her. So there was no way she can get letters to him, and that's how she found out. That's how she's basically Tanjiro wife because she figured that shit out pretty quickly. On top of that, she is so apologetic. Like she's apologizing to him nonstop, saying, I wish I could have been more useful to you. And he's like, hey, don't worry about it. Once this antidote kicks in, get the hell up out. You got to get out of here. And she's like, you can hear it, can't you? The sound of a demon rampaging, which I love. I'm picking up little details in this show, and that's it's making me love Demon Slayer even more. His nails are painted. A flashy dude with painted nails. That it's not in this day and age. Guys that paint their fingernails, it's not really a odd occurrence. Uh, Heterosexual, homosexual, whatever sexual you are, many people paint their nails, but he's a flashy individual, and especially for this time period, I like the details of him. The diamonds and everything. I like that. I like that about him. I like how they have little details in this guy. So, you know, she cries and agrees that she'll leave as soon as everything's done. So he lets her down and he starts running, and then he's listening, and he puts his ear, jumps over some buildings, puts his ear to the ground, and he can hear fighting and stuff. And so he does the sound breathing first form roar, and this dude takes the two blades. I love how they unwrap themselves and just start slamming it to the ground. He's doing it over and over again. Mind you, he over here. Tanjiro is fighting. Her name's Daki, the fake Wabahari Hime. He's fighting her. Now she sees the explosion. She's like, she can see it and she can hear it. She's like, what the heck is going on? And she looks at Tanjiro. Little side note: these episodes might be 24 minutes long. I have to stop and take notes and pause these things. I like to hear put down exactly what characters say because that actually matters. I've been doing this episode for so long, I don't even have to look at these notes all the way. But she tells him, she says, hey, how many more of you guys are there? Is there about four of you? And that just freaked me the fuck out because this demon has been doing this so long. Has killed the most Hashiras. Well, did she kill the most Hashiras? I think that's what Mitsuzen said. Has killed so many Hashiras, has killed so many Slayers and so many people. She can easily identify how many enemy forces there are. And she says, how many are there? If you tell me, I'll be more inclined to not kill you. Tanjiro's like, he ain't going for it. He ain't telling you shit. His blade is up. He's ready. I am not telling you nothing. And she says, come on, man. Like, look at your blade. You can't even, your blade is, we've only clashed a few times, it's already nicked. And Tanjiro, and I thought it was a trick. No, his black Nichiren blade has nicks all the way down it. And she flat out says, whoever made this blade was shitty and was horrible. And he straight up, he says, hell no. No, whoever made this blade, he defends the bladesmith, the guy that tries to kill him every time he has to give him a new blade, which I get is for comedy and stuff. That guy kind of annoys me. Just a little bit. Anyway, um, and he defends the bladesmith. She's like, okay, if it's not a bad blade, then how did it get nicked, you moron? And I'm thinking in my mind, where are the people? Like, this district and it's night. I'm guessing they're more towards the residential area, maybe. But I'm thinking to myself, where the hell are the people at, right? But she's actually able to identify that dude's over by the Omitsu house. That's the same house that Inosuke's in. You really have to pay attention when simultaneous things are all happening at once. It's freaking fantastic. Anyway, um, she's getting annoyed. So she's like, I'm getting annoyed. You know what happens when you annoy the Hime? She said she's gonna kill him, right? And Tanjiro says the blade, only gets nicked when its holder is not strong enough and is not skilled enough. There's nothing wrong with the sword. It's him. And I wrote a little bit longer notes. I have to click. Here we go. He's saying that the water breathing technique, he can't handle that. That thing is not made for him. He can't be like Daki, one of the best teachers I've ever seen in anime, or Tomika. His I guess you can call him his senpai, the dude that made his own form, killed the spider lower rank demon. He can't be like those two. Um, he can't help but strike better and harder with Hino Kamikagura. It's more compatible with his body. Here's the thing, and I got it. Full disclosure, I've done some looking up because I got so curious about this show and who lives and who dies. Did some digging. I know a lot of shit about this show. Some stuff that probably won't happen for at least another 2 years. Especially if they're doing the show like this, probably another 2 or 3 years. Really good lore to this show. Full disclosure. But I'm doing my best to not bring anything else up that's not already shown in the show. Um, but we get a nice little flashback here. It's with Inosuke and Zenitsu. They're training, and of course we get Zenitsu going, "Why don't you? Would it kill you to just take it back a bit?" But they can see on the side Tanjiro's training with the Hino Kamikagura. He's doing the flame dance, and he tries to do the clear blue sky. But the sheer force of the strikes of the technique make him double over in pain. He has some really good friends because they come over. Inosuke, comedically asked, "Are you hungry?" And then he was like, "No, you idiot! Go get Shinobu." And where are we at here? We're back in present day where Tanjiro says, "Hey, it's different now. It's different. I should be able to do the techniques." No, no, no. I will do the techniques. He's not gonna go down the feet. He's gonna be ablaze, ablaze, ablaze. Set your heart ablaze. We get the little picture of Rengoku, and he does the Hino Kamikagura, Raging Sun, because she sends those clothicals, as I call them, out at him, cuts her ass up. Remember, they are actually a part of her body, so there's a lot of blood. And actually, if you think about it, there should be tons of blood all over the street because he's cut several of these damn things. Um, where am I here? She notes that his swordsmanship has actually gotten sharper because he switched up his styles. And she says the sound of his breathing is unpleasant. Like, when you, and that's another thing, I keep talking about details. When you see him doing the sun breathing techniques, you can just see, you can hear the difference and just see the flames. I love the ukiyo style artwork for the effects on the sword techniques, whether it's the breathing or the slashes. So he does Inbu. You can instantly see that he's named a bunch of his techniques after the techniques that Rengoku did. And she dodges it, and she says he's too slow, but he says, it's a double strike, ha ha ha, bitch. But she does a stab to his neck. He has his own after image technique. That's the Hinokami Kagura fake rainbow technique. He's flipped over her head. He can see the string. He's gonna go for it. And she says, you're way too slow. String breaks, and she smacks him away. He goes skipping like this is X-Men versus Street Fighter, just skipping across the ground. And I have to put in here, I love seeing him adapt his new style. Like, one of the things that a lot of shonen anime, especially the ones that people my age like Dragon Ball and stuff like that, there's not a lot of anime that goes, all right, hey, the guy has to learn a new style. Let's progressively show him, all right, he used this technique, he used the technique again. Let's continue and see this guy training up. I like that it's recognizing, and this is the thing that's true with martial arts. All my martial artists out there can attest to this. You can't really, and my shifu for kung fu actually said this before too. You can't bend the wielder to the style. The style has to meld with them. So I like seeing that he's able to do this other technique that's not really suited for him, but he's practicing in the one that's suited for him and is a little bit more difficult. There's a little life lesson somewhere in there. But she tells him he's doubled over because now the fatigue of using the Hinokami Kagura is catching up to him. She's coming in and he does recover breathing. That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen because then he's getting up and he's blocking and he's hitting, but he even recognizes that he's moving too slow. So he's trying to raise his body temperature. And we get a flashback to one of the cute little triplet girls. I don't know which one it is. If you know which one it is, you're a much better fan than I am. And she's concerned because his temperature hasn't gone down. And he's just like, please don't tell Lady Shinobu just yet. And she's in tears. She kind of falls to her knees. She's like, his temperature's at 104 degrees, 100.4 degrees. And it's been up for the last couple of days, and she doesn't know what to do. And he just flat out comes out and tells her, "Look, I'm at the top of my game when I have a fever. I can do multiple strikes with the Hino Kamikagura, and he feels like he can get a little bit stronger. So he's asking her to just hold off a little bit longer before telling Shinobu." And she relents. You see the tense, such good art with the drawing. You see her tense, kind of pull at her dress up, and she's like, "All right, only for a little bit longer." And I love that these characters have developed such a relationship because she's in tears. She wants him to get better, and it's adorable and it's heartwarming. So, Daki says he's fighting much differently than he was before, and he's a lot more pesky than she initially thought, and she calls this entertaining. He's in his mind. Tanjiro is talking to himself, talking to us, saying he has to be more effective in order to protect lives. Never again is he gonna let demons rob lives again. He gets flashbacks of all the demons that he's fought. Remember the ones that were killing young women to take their hairpins. I love that there was a callback to that. He's thinking of all these demons. He doesn't want anybody else to feel the same grief that they all had. We're talking about the Rengoku family, Shinobu, the little triplets, Aoi, Tomika, Tomika, Tomiaka. That's how you say his name. And the guy who lost his fiance. He's thinking about everyone that has been given grief by demons. So he's not gonna let this slide. And he and so he moves in again, but this chick goes, "Ugly people are still ugly, no matter how hard you try." Man, they're making it so easy to hate this character. And the animation for this. Mwah. So let's go back to the Omigoto house. The lady of the house is freaking out, talking to the other geishas, going, "There's a boar-headed demon here, and it's tearing up the ceilings and the floorboards." And they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And here comes Inosuke, straight out of the ground, and he's just like running through. They think that he's chasing them. No, he's looking for the demon. And he looks down at this floor, and he hits it, sees a hole in there. So he tries to jump in, Bugs Bunny style. Cannot fit. Remember how flexible he showed us that he was? This dude dislocates his arm. He can dislocate his joints at will. So he puts his swords away, dislocates his arms, then goes in head first and able to move through like a worm. Wow. Wow. One more time. Wow. And he's moving through the tunnel that freaking Daki made. And he gets through, gets to the end. There's this massive cavern of cloth after he reattaches, relocates his limb. Massive cavern. And you can see the faces of all the women, including Zenitsu, in here. We also see Suma and Makio in this cloth. So, where are we at here? He's able to, mind you, this is how far this boar-headed fool has come. He's come far enough that he can deduce that the demon absorbs them and keeps them until it's ready to eat, because there's human bones at the floor of this cavern. And he even calls it savage. That is, when he says that your methods are savage, that's crazy. And he's wondering why Zenitsu's in there. And here comes her claw. The end of one of her claws have her humanish eyes in her mouth, and just looks and is like, "How are you down here?" He straight up calls her a what do you call her? A worm belt, because it's, again, it looks like the midsection, the women's belly belts is what he calls them. She calls him dirty. He calls her a worm. Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. A dude is just cutting everything up. As he's cutting it up, ladies are falling out of it. And he's telling her, "Don't come back and fight me until you get a spine." Just cutting everywhere. And she's making note. And I like when they do this in anime, where you can tell us how cool he is without having to say it out loud. Like the villains are thinking it in their heads. And she's saying, he's slicing her without having to touch the people. His intuition is deep, and he can easily detect murderous intent, which is extraordinary. She says it's extraordinary. He's so sensitive that he can perceive attacks from any direction, which he does. She does a multi-directional attack that he jumps up and slices her. She never expected the demon slayer to be able to infiltrate what she calls the food locker. And I even put my notes. I think this is where Uzi, I think this is where Tengen is going, because for him to put his ear down now, he's starting to go underground. I think this is where he's heading. So she's wondering what she should do. All of a sudden, we see the upper six eyes behind her. She's talking to herself, not talking and responding. She's literally talking to herself, saying that you should absorb him. You know, kill whoever else is around. Doesn't matter, but we only capture the top 10 most beautiful ones, and he's beautiful, so she wants to capture him. You know, I find it amazing that she calls Inosuke in the top 10 beautiful. But at the same time, she recognizes that he is the one who came in and interrupted them when they were dealing with Makio. Though it may prove harder to capture him alive than merely kill him. So I'm wondering if this is a split personality. Like, she's been a demon for this long that she has a split personality. She's just telling her to devour the ones that can make her stronger. Which would make sense because when she was dealing with Zenitsu, aka Zeniko, she had a flip side, like that evil, wretched demon side that was gonna break a child's, pull a child's ear off, flip the switch when the master said he was sorry, please forgive them. Pretty dang interesting. So he's going in towards the face because the face for some reason is bending when he hits it. So he's doing the beast breathing six fangs. He's gonna do is called a palisade bite. But she says, "Hey, I'm not even the main body, even if you kill me. But by the way, you're just gonna leave the humans out over here." I forgot to turn all this down. I apologize, everyone. You're just gonna leave the humans out there, and the three of the ladies that he first initially freed, they're there, and the cloth worms are heading straight for him. And he's like, "Damn, I actually have to protect these humans." And he's running towards them to stop those clothicals from getting them. Kunai strike. I'm like, "Oh shit, Tengen's there." No. While he's been cutting and freeing people, Suma and Makio, blonde hair and black with short hair, the one that should be him. So Suma is the one I associate with Inosuke because of how short his hair is. And of course, Blondie is supposed to be Zenitsu. They're saying, hey, first of all, Worm Belt's a good name for it. And the other one is crying, saying, Suma's crying, saying that this thing is gross. I'm going to tell Tengen on you. So they're going to back him up because they can tell he's a demon slayer. And they flat out say they're Uzio's wives. Guys, the one that's supposed to be Inosuke is actually like Zenny. And the one that's supposed to be Zenny is actually Inosuke. That is wonderful. Because then we get that funny moment. We get a Zenitsu moment from Suma where she's like, I was the first one to get captured. Don't expect too much out of me. I'm not that good. and and Makio like shoulder charges and nudges her, saying shut up and don't be a wimp. And of course Inosuke is stunned because he has lived this life. Um so Bill starts talking all sorts of trash, you know, and Inosuke is having he's deeply thinking, man, this is gonna take me forever to free everybody, and even if I kill this thing, it's not the main body. It can just grab everybody else again. All of a sudden, we hear thunder breathing, thunderclap sixfold. Zenitsu is here, eyes closed. He thunderclaps and hits a bunch of the cloth, freeing more people. And here we are. We have what's his name? Inosuke says maybe you should stay asleep all the time. The muscle mice are here. They're here to help people. And where am I at here? Why is he? The cloth, the clothy worm version of Daki is wondering, how is he here? What the heck is going on? Okay, I heard two different sounds. One sounded like thunderclaps, but the other one was more of a deep roar. What the heck is going on? And and Zenny like, he's cutting anything that gets close to him, except for Inosuke, who's like nudging and kicking him. All of a sudden, the ceiling opens up. There's tons of wind. The ninja ladies, like, oh, and everyone's stunned. He's here. When Tengen shows up, the translation on his blade says Destroyer of Demons. I cannot tell you how hard I marked out. I was just, whoa, 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 whoa. That's awesome. Um, so she knows just from his presence, he's a Hashira. This man does more cuts than Zenny. Just, it's a zigzag all over, and he obliterates the cloth, and turns to his wife and says, "I'm sorry it took so long. I'm happy that you're okay." And little, Makio says, "Stuff wasn't like this before. Like, the thought of dying never bothered her because that's the most she can do as a kunoichi, as a female ninja who, they cannot hope to have the same strength as male shinobi. Being prepared to die is just a thing. So staking her life was the minimal she could do. Now, we get a nice, where am I here? We get a nice little flashback. And by the way, Suma, I love the fact that Suma is tearful. We get a flashback where he initially sends them in. He looks really different from how he looks right now. Like, he looks more like a mix between now and his laid back look when he was, hawking the boys off to the geisha houses. And he tells them flat out, he wants them to only think of their lives above all else. The top priority is to come back to him. Life over accomplishing mission. And he's saying this is going at odds with our occupation, like ninjas and demon slayers. Obviously, you're putting your life on the line. You're probably going to die. But no matter what, as a demon slayer, he's going to go and protect people who have protect the people leading their nonchalant, drab lives. But he's going to be very blunt. The most important lives are the three of them. And they're all just, beautifully stunned. Mind you, by the way, these ladies are all beautiful and they're all super, super busty. So, Demon Slayer. This is actually, I'm actually kind of surprised that this arc here is actually the first time that a show in anime has shown with like busty women like this. That's very interesting for Demon Slayer. Mostly everybody's clothed, which is pretty cool, except for I can't remember her name. The Demon Slayer who uses love breathing, the pink hair with the pink with the green hair. I can't remember her name, but she's the first character that was openly showing skin like that. That's not true. One of the spider demons did that too. Who cares? Legitimately, who cares? Um, but where am I at here? He's allowing them to care more about their lives and accomplishing their mission. He's saying lives, going on in his mind is flashy as hell. Clear cut in his mind, that's flashy. So first you three law-abiding citizens and me. Uh, and his main thing is don't die on me. So she's shocked. She's actually talking to Hinasuru later on in this flashback, and Hinasuru says it's fine because Lord Tengen told us it's fine. Not wanting to die or wanting to live on is fine as long as you don't despise yourself. You're good. And Makio smiles and says she's right. And in present day, first of all, this man is massive. We got to remember, not only does he tower over our guys, he's gonna easily tower over his wives. And he pats them both on the head. And before they were all in awe, and they pats them both on the head, and they're tearing up. And he's saying, "I see you guys have been doing some flashy work. You are definitely my wives." And of course, Suma goes full on, crying, which leaves some comedic faces. And it took me so long to realize this dude's blades are chained together because they are nunchucks. They are a nunchaku. He is doing nunchuck stuff with these two blades. And he says the title of the episode, starting now, things are going to get real flashy. Great episode. The Nin Nin is Tanjiro and Zenny. They're both dressed up in their fake geisha outfits. And Zenny says it can't be possible that the sound Hashira has three wives. And Tanjiro says, "Hey, Zenny, why don't you go ahead and try it?" He's like, "Really?" And he starts naming off girls. And Tanjiro goes, "I'm going to go ahead and tell Nesco about this." And of course, Zenny's like, "No, no, 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 please." So the Taisho secret is apparently the Uzui family actively practice polygamy. And he hears that when you turn 15, the head of the family picks out three wives for you that are fully compatible. But apparently, Suma stepped forward herself. The crybaby, the Zenitsu, knew exactly what she wanted. And Zenitsu in this Taisho says, "Oh, maybe I should train to be a shinobi." Here comes Tengen, like, "Okay, you ready to start your shinobi training today?" Dude runs off. Next episode is called Layered Memories. Man, I might have said something to the lines of last episode was the best episode. That's a damn lie. Past me, 2021 me, no. This has been the best episode. I gotta, man. If last episode wasn't a five, last episode wasn't a five. It has to be a 4.5. This is one of the best episodes. I like seeing progression of characters, like the determination of Tanjiro. One of the main reasons I like him. The fact that Inosuke he cares more about his teammates now, which I'm glad that's been a progressive thing. He cares more about people. Before he probably wouldn't gave a damn about unconscious civilians, but no, he's trying to save these people. I appreciate how Inosuke is one of those rare characters, and I say rare. He's one of those characters in the shonen anime where you can see why people gravitate towards him. Not just because he's the pretty boy, ladies, and not just because he's the wild card. People who like edgy wild card characters. He's not really edgy, but he's a wild card. Is the fact that he is an actual battle genius. Dude has no teacher. He has no teacher. He taught himself, and somehow is a demon slayer. I'm looking forward to seeing more about his backstory. Where the whole beast thing came from. Even though I already know, but I want to know where the beast part came from. Actually, I can spoil that. I think he was raised in the wild by animals. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's episode. I read somewhere that I think this season ends in February, so excuse me. We might. It's supposed to be like 11 episodes, so maybe we got like 6 or 7 episodes left, 5 to 7 episodes left. Who knows? Please let me know what you thought of this episode down there in the comment section. As a matter of fact, you can tell me how your holiday has been going. I hope it's been a good and safe one. If you did get sick, take care of yourself. If you didn't get sick, keep up the good work, staying safe. But yeah, my favorite moment has to be seeing Tanjiro improve more and seeing Inosuke. Just man, love this episode. Don't forget, hit that like button. Really, really helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and especially if you're not new here, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. Don't forget to share the video so we can spread the word and other people can see what a great time we are having. We're going into 2022 full steam ahead, baby. So, as always, thank you for showing up. I deeply appreciate each and every last one of you. Be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask. It is crazy out there. Above all else, make sure you take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Just don't be a jerk, all right? And I will most definitely see you guys next time.